What's up, guys? Mac here, doing the beer review. It's a Wednesday. Doing it a little bit early this week just to kind of get it over with, so I don't need to deal with it later on. We're gonna be streaming on Friday, and I got some other stuff I'm working on probably tomorrow. So I wanted to get the beer review just out of the way. We're gonna be doing the last beer of the Guinness Variety Pack, and that is the Antwerpen. Weirdest Guinness name I've heard thus far. The Guinness Antwerpen, the Brewers Projects. Again, a stout like all the rest. I kind of saved this beer for last on purpose because this beer, from when I tried it back around St. Patrick's Day, it's a very, very flavorful beer, and I thought it'd be a good one to kind of end on. I was about to say it's a special beer, but really they're all special. They're all very unique, and in their own right, have their own sort of speciality to them. But this one is very interesting. So let's hop on over to beeradvocate.com. And over here, as you can see from the score, we have a 4.11 out of 5. Exceptional. An exceptional rating. It's really, really good. You don't see that very often on Beer Advocate. It's only 615 ratings, but still very impressive. Brewed, of course, by Guinness Brewing in Dublin, Ireland. Style is a foreign export stout. We already read the style on the last video, so go ahead and check that out if you want to hear the style over there. They're kind of the foreign export stout is kind of the main style of all these beers anyway. The alcohol by volume is 8.00%, and the availability is year-round. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever even seen this beer or even tried it, so the whole year-round availability thing I'm not quite sure about. I think maybe it's just certain places. I've not seen it until it turned up in the variety pack. The notes: this 8% ABV stout has long been a secret pleasure among beer connoisseurs and indeed our brewers, who value the mouth-watering intensity of its roasted malt, smoked wood, and dark chocolate notes, not to mention its excellent and seemingly endless finish. Since 1944, we have been exclusively exporting this same special stout from Ireland into Belgium through the vibrant port of Antwerp. This is the first time we're making it available for general release in America. So there you go. It's not usually available in America, and it used to be a special stout that was exported to Belgium through the port of Antwerp. So I guess that's where they get the name from. I wonder what they called it before they started shipping it to Antwerp a lot. You know, like when they first sent it out there, what did they call it then? Because if it's named after that particular port, what did they call it before then? Anyway, enough with the jibber jabber. Go ahead and pop this open. My phone is buzzing, so we're gonna go ahead and get this going here. We got the Irish glass once again. Pretty darn big head. That may or may not have been from the way I poured it. There's a little bit still up in the glass, but we'll go ahead and just check this out here. Dark as dark can be, just like every other Guinness that we've reviewed. A huge amount of head there. Kind of just, you know, tan-ish color to it. Oh my gosh, when you get a smell, it's funny how it's funny how accurate some of the notes can be on Beer Advocate. When you smell it, the roasted smell is like the biggest thing you notice. Rest out of there. I understand that they said, you know, there's chocolate. What else did I say? Smoked wood and dark chocolate notes. The roasted malt is like the thing that you smell the most. It's got that classic, if you've ever had a dark beer, especially Guinness's different kinds of beers, different kinds of stouts, the first thing you'll notice is it's very, very roasty. The thing with all these dark beers is they're so roasty, they're so malty, they're so chocolatey. They got the coffee notes, the caramel notes. That's like a staple of these darker stouts. Not so much as like an IPA where it's very citrusy and, you know, bitter and very, very hoppy. No, this is completely different. You got the malts. It's very, very roasty, and that's not a bad thing, of course. So, anyway, very roasty smell. I think it's time to hop right in. Cheers. It's also the first time that I've had this in a glass. That's true for every other one that I've reviewed, because the first time I had it was in a bottle. Very different. It's interesting how it tastes. It's hard to quite put my finger on it. It's kind of it's very malty, of course. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. It's got this kind of this is gonna sound incredibly weird, but if you were to drink a campfire, I probably sound ridiculous right now, but that's what it reminds me of. It's got this very malty, roasty flavor up front. In the after, like in the finish, like, I don't know, if you were to like have something on an open fire, like around like a campground, you were to like roast something over that fire, and some of the smoke gets inside of it, and you can kind of taste that. Like if you make s'mores, I'm not saying this beer tastes like s'mores, but if you were to make s'mores or just a roasted marshmallow, you kind of get that campfire smoky flavor infused into that food. This is kind of what that tastes like in the finish. Lots of malt, lots of roastiness up front, and then you have that smoky kind of flavor at the end. They suggested there's dark chocolate in here. I kinda don't really get it, but I do get like that sort of if you ever have dark chocolate that's high in like percentage of cocoa, you kind of get that bitter taste to it. I kind of get that sort of in the middle as you're swallowing, and then it kind of trails off in the finish, and then the smokiness comes in. Very, very complex beer. Very flavorful. You kind of need to have a taste for this. You gotta either be just a plain old Guinness fan and you want to try them all, or you gotta be somebody who is just into dark beers that have a ton of flavor and you know, take a little bit of picking apart to figure out all the flavors and the smells and everything else. So, guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoy Guinness, if you enjoyed all these Guinness reviews, please let me know down in the comments. Would love to have a conversation about some real good Guinness beer, if you're a fan anyway. And if you enjoyed the video, a like always helps, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out any more of my reviews. We do them weekly, usually towards the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, around that time. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.